All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about the lightweight division. Gervonta Tank Davis has something to say to Ryan Garcia in preparation for their fight. However, there's a lot of word out there that that bout is still not guaranteed to happen, and that is for two big reasons that we will talk about in this video. Let's do that. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 135-pound division, talking about one of the biggest fights in boxing that looks like it will be getting made between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. I do believe the fight is going to be at a 136-pound catch weight, so there will not be any belts on the line. However, everybody knows that it is probably one of the biggest fights that you can make in boxing, along with the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight. But it is below the welterweight division. It is the biggest fight that you can make in boxing. However, while we're talking about it, we cannot ignore two things. Actually, I raised up four fingers. Two things, right? That will could stand in the way of that fight taking place. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are if you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your support. This video I'm going to dedicate to Trash Talk Gaming, one of my favorite boxing fans out of the great city of Baltimore, Maryland. Hope you're well and you're doing well. Thank you for the support, and thank you to everybody that supports the channel and the super chats and the cash apps that we do and the live streams that we do every day. You guys are really the people, and you know who you all are, that allow the channel to continue to go. Thank you so much for your support. Also to everybody that comes by these videos and supports in the super thanks, which you can see on right below you on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, a little heart with a $sign, which is how people support content creators, because you know the production of this stuff is not free. So thank you very much. And if you can't do that, hit the like button or hit the dislike button. Either one, your engagement is greatly appreciated, or just thank you for watching. So let's get into this. Gervonta Davis wants to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan wants to fight Gervonta Davis. According to Steven Espinoza, according to Oscar De La Hoya, and everybody involved, the deal is all the way done. There is some rumblings about them needing to put their pen to paper on the last deal, a little bit or whatever, that may be out there, that may not be out there at the time of this video. But everybody of any real, association with the fight is saying that the fight is going to happen. Now, I get a lot of comments in my comment section that talk about two major hurdles, and not just my DMs and the like, two major hurdles to this fight taking place, both of which should be taken very seriously. And one of them is a fighter, and the other one is a court proceeding. So just to give you a little bit on that, the most immediate one is the court proceeding. Now, if you're not familiar, I've done several videos on it, and it's a case that Gervonta Davis is tied up in Baltimore for basically a hit and run, and where he had a car accident, big damage was done to his car, the other person's car. The other person suffered some injuries in that. Don't want to get into the details of the injury, because that's really not, other than me saying, man, I hope that they're doing well and all of that stuff. But there was that accident, and Gervonta Davis attempted to enter into a plea agreement, which included no jail time, a certain amount of money paid, that type of stuff. But the judge rejected it, and they rejected it because they said that the person, the victim of the accident, the person who was injured, didn't think it was enough. So they rejected the plea deal that was submitted by the prosecution and Gervonta Davis's team. So they are going to have to go back and enter another plea deal that is acceptable to the court. So there are people that question whether or not that is going to require some amount of jail time for Gervonta Davis in exchange for him to be able to plead the deal out. Now, what do I believe about that? At the end of the day, I do not know. Is the simple answer to that. I do not know whether or not he's going to be able to get out of that or whether he's not going to get out of that. But if it is a situation, I do believe that his court date is in December. So this will be before the fight that he has coming up in January in Washington, D.C. against Hector Garcia. Now, here's the other thing. Now, we'll figure out what happens with that, and that's legitimately some question about that. However, things like that tend to get worked out. And I do recall, reading the article about what the judge had said, and the judge said that they were not happy with the deal, with the plea deal. That does not mean that they cannot become happy with another one that doesn't include jail time. It just may mean that the victim may just have to pay the victim more money, or you have to do something out of court in a civil settlement related to them to allow him, to move on and do something else. But that will play itself out, and we will see, we'll see what the case is in that regard. Now, the more severe issue, though, is, in my opinion, is the Garcia fight. This is not a tune-up fight for Gervonta Davis. Hector Garcia is a legitimate fighter. This is the dude that just got done beating back-to-back Chris Colbert and Gutierrez to be the WBA 130-pound champion. He is a champion. He is not necessarily some guy that's going to come in there as a soft touch. Now, would Gervonta Davis be favored in it? I mean, I'm going to favor him in the fight for sure, right? But there are, just so you know, there are a lot of people out there that believe that the Garcia fight is more difficult than the fight with Ryan Garcia. So, it's not something that I think it's safe to say, like, yeah, we just going to blow it off and like that's guaranteed to happen. Gervonta Davis is going to have to be on his P's and Q's and is really going to have to be focused and centered and able to get that win off of Garcia. I think, my personal opinion, I think that Garcia is probably a little bit better fighter than Jojo Diaz is. So I would put this somewhere near about with Jojo Diaz. Even though I do believe, and somebody can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, that this is a southpaw and a southpaw matchup. So that may be a little bit of a funny thing for both of those fighters. But whatever the case is, it's not something that I think people should just look at and say, okay, yeah, I know what's going to take place in this bout, and it's just going to be a wash, right? But so those are two legitimate things that, are kind of, that bridges that have to be crossed before he gets to the Ryan Garcia bout. Now, on Ryan Garcia's side of it, though, he says that he's going to have another bout before he fights Gervonta Davis. Don't know who that is. Don't know when that's going to be. However, I would expect that is probably going to be an easier bout for Ryan Garcia than it's going to be with Hector Garcia for Gervonta. Now, Gervonta, obviously, though, man, is a terrific fighter. He's a better fighter than Gutierrez is. He's a much better fighter that I do believe than Chris Colbert is. And, Gervonta has that thing that, kind of neutralizes a lot of stuff, which is really gigantic power that is proven gigantic power at 140, at 135, and definitely at 130. But we'll see what happens. Just wanted to update with you with that. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.